when you spoke about training with elite levels, what's it like training with Tom Aspinall? Tell me.
It's inspiring, to be honest. Like, to see your best mate be the best fighter in the world, in my opinion, at the minute. I'm sure a lot of other people's opinion. Like, it's inspiring.
Yeah.
Like, to see what he puts into a training session. You're not just training with some dosser who's come off street and just doing a bit of a session. Like, you're training with the best in the world. Like, you're doing a combo. I'll look over, I'll see Tom absolutely smashing the pads. It makes me like want to hit it even harder. Yeah. And the way he dances around, like, I used to be so ploddy and just walk around and plod, but seeing him dance and move and
mate, he's rapid.
Yeah,
he's rapid.
Unreal.
Is like you said, when you're training in the gym, is there just no fucking days off? Is it just literally relentless every session?
No, I think that's the good thing what our coach Andy instills with us. Like, it's good to have like sort of not down days, but lower level days where we're just doing a bit of grappling or we're just doing a bit of striking. Yeah. It doesn't have to be. If you redline all the time, you're gonna burst your bubble. Yeah. You know, if you do that in your car, you'll smack your engine. Yeah. And it's the same with your body. You can't be a million miles an hour all the time, otherwise you're just gonna burn out. Yeah. So it's nice to have like deload weeks, especially like week before a fight. Don't really do anything. It's just nice to recover, and then when you do go back in, your body, I feel like your body just takes in all that knowledge you've learned over the past like 5-6 weeks. Yeah. And then you come in and then you start implementing it. Yeah,
definitely. And is that the same for sparring? Because obviously, I can't remember whose podcast I was listening to, where it was like Brazilians and they used to just kick the shit out of each other. Surely you can't spar like that all the time. Is there sometimes where you've got to take it a little bit easier because you can't physically injure someone all the time?
Yeah. So I think it's how you spar and who you spar with, and whether you're tech sparring or hard sparring or regular sparring. Like, it just depends. Like, you can't fight once a week and then expect to go at the end of a training camp and have a proper fight without shinies and without protective gloves and headgear and whatever. Like, there has got to be some sense of realism where you're not just kicking pads because pads don't kick back. Like, if someone's kicking you, that's when you've got to learn how to set stuff up and stuff like that. So that's where tech sparring comes in. Obviously, when you're starting off, it's nice to go a little bit harder because then you realise where your sort of breaking point is. But if you've got a fight booked in, there's no point going a million miles an hour, having another fight in the gym and leaving it in the gym. Yeah. You want to save it for the fight. So, yeah, I think it's who you spar with, what your coach is sort of telling you and how to spar. If your coach is telling you to have a straightener every week, then you're probably not in the right gym. So,
is that common?
I think it used to be.
Not as much now?
Not as. I think more people are onto it now. I think Max Holloway's been a massive...
and that's one of the people who I remember seeing in a podcast, and he doesn't really do that much contact sparring, does he?
Doesn't spar anymore. No. Just because he says, I know how to fight. So it's just about getting fit and getting ready for the fight. But not everyone's Max Holloway. So I think you still should spar to get used to seeing punches and teching punches and stuff.
Well, one of the things you said, like, a pad's not going to hit back. And I think some people will go to the gym and they'll book the white collar boxing event and they'll hit the pads a couple of times and think, oh, fucking sick, mate. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I can hit a fucking 1-2. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's the realism aspect. Have you ever had a sparring session where someone's come with a big ego and it's like, right, I'm going to go for it? Or like when you go to another gym, is there ever that issue where it's like you want to go and have a light spar, but then it just ends up becoming an all-out brawl?
Yeah, of course. It's always a cock-off. It's always a cock-off. And that's MMA and jiu-jitsu.
In a nutshell.
Yeah. You say, like, if we were rolling or sparring, right, we'll go 40%. Second, I feel you go 41%.
I'm going 100.
That's it then. All gloves are off. So, yeah, there has been like incidents where it's obviously gone off a little bit, and it does happen. It's just sort of the nature of the game. But I don't know. I think some people, especially when you're training with all the time, they're very onto it now. Like, if someone needs to go a little bit harder, then there's days when that person can go a little bit harder. But like I say, you can't go 1,000,000% all the time.
All the time, no. It's the same with anything. If you're training in the gym, like I get it quite a lot with PT. If someone's trying to do too much and they're just training relentless, they're just going to burn out. Yeah. And I think a deload, it's not you needing a deload to perform better. I think a deload is when your body's absolutely fucked. Yeah. You find that more in the gym. A deload when you're going up to a fight, I think's 100% because you need that the week before where you've trained your balls off leading up to it. But if you just go into the gym and you're just an average gym goer, if you get to a point where like you're struggling to wake up in the morning or your muscles are completely fucked something in your training program's wrong. If you're doing too much, you're not eating enough, or you're not sleeping well enough. You get it so many times, mate, and people end up getting ill because they're just trying to do like 5 sessions a week, resistance training, boxing once a week, doing a run at 5 a.m. in the morning, trying to do a 10K, and they're trying to just do everything like 101,000,000%. Never works, not at all. Going back to when you said you were training with Tom, what was it like leading up to when he won the belt?
That like 2-week period, it was mad. Like, he put it on Instagram, and then he texted me. I was like, oh, okay, New York, that sounds fun. And then we obviously had the sparring session, and then that was it then. And then he flew out like the week before. So obviously it was completely unexpected, but everyone knew he was ready for it. So it was a weird feeling, but everyone sort of had this like presumption that he was going to win it anyway. So I'll just do it now. So on 2 weeks' notice, like it was a mad feel. It was a mad time.
And how does it go about in the gym with someone who's fighting at like the best level? Where do you feel like you ever cross the line where you're not being a yes man, or you've got people in the gym who are like, oh, you're fucking amazing all the time, or do some people come on and be like, no, you need to work on this? How do you keep that balance?
I think Andy's very, very good. Obviously, because he's his dad, he's very good at keeping his best interests at heart. Like, don't let anyone in the gym who's trying to change anything, wants anything from Tom more than they need, you know, like money or signing stuff or whatever. So Andy does a very, very good job of that. But I think when you get to that level, it's very easy to get them yes men around you if you've not built a good team around you already. With Tom, he's had the same person around him since he was born. Like, his dad's been with him this entire journey. And I've been friends with him since I was 12. So what's that now? 14 years of friendship. So I just try and, you know, be his mate, which he is. He's just a mate. And obviously people have got to come in, training partners and whatever. Everyone's got to come in to do their bit. But I think Andy just does such a good job of keeping everyone at a certain level of, you're here, you're providing your 1%. That's it.
Yeah, mate, that's insane. I think a lot of people don't realise how much goes on behind the scenes with someone who's at that high of a level. Same goes with anyone. Like, it could be your bodybuilder who steps on stage. He's got about 3 different coaches who's trying to make sure his program's spot on. He's probably mentoring with someone as well. It could be your footballer. They've got a full team of people behind them. Some people just see the one person and think it's all on them. But like I said, like with his dad, that's sick. Like, you need those people, bring you back down to earth, but also big you the fuck up. Like, that's sick. What's the best piece of advice you've been given from a coach or anything throughout your career?
Best piece of advice?
Tough questions, mate.
That's a very tough question. That's a very tough question.
You're in the hot seat, mate.
Best piece of advice. It was funny because when I was like a blue belt and I was getting sort of okay at jiu-jitsu, I was still not good by any stretch of the imagination, but I was getting okay. And Tom said to me, I used to get like people just smashing me straight away, and it'd only be later in the round I'd get a little bit back. And he was like, just smash someone for 3 minutes when you first roll with them to let them know how bad it can get, and then bring them back down, and then you can have a bit of an equal roll. And I think that stops a lot of people hurting you. I think it stops a lot of injuries, and it stops egos getting inflated. Because if Johnny White Belt comes in off the street and says, yeah, I'll just smash that little blue belt over there, he's going to think he's at some sort of level where, but if you're just letting him work, it's different. Yeah. So, yeah, that's a good little piece of advice.
Yeah, sick. What advice would you give to someone who's wanting to get out of the white belt?
To get out of the white belt, train more jiu-jitsu and stop scrolling on TikTok. Yeah, just train more jiu-jitsu. That's the best way you're going to get out of any belt. Train, be a sponge, listen to your coach. If you don't feel like it's a good environment, maybe move to another gym. If you've not built up a good relationship with that coach already, but trust the process. Yeah. It takes so long to go through belts in jiu-jitsu. It's not a quick fix. Like, I think that's the thing with society today. Everyone wants that quick fix. Well, that quick dopamine. Yeah, exactly. But jiu-jitsu takes a long time to go through the belts, which is good. And that's why competition's good, because you're seeing what level you are against another club who you'll never see and never probably meet again. So just take time. Take your time, relax, and enjoy it. Don't worry about the belt. Worry about getting better and just enjoy it. So you get a lot of people who watch TikToks and like social media who think like, oh, he's doing that, so I'm going to do it. Yeah. There's loads of pages on like I don't have TikTok myself, but on like Instagram where it'll be like showing a jiu-jitsu move, and the concept of the move works if someone's not resisting, and then someone will come in and want to do it. I'm like, yeah, but it doesn't work. So it's hard to get that into people's head. Like, you might never be in this position, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.